Welcome to the Hmong Peeps Show, the one and only show that brings you ordinary people sharing extraordinary insights. Well, maybe. Here is your host, Chew Effin Lee.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Chew. Welcome to the Hmong Peeps Show. What a very strange weekend or week we had. I was on vacation with my family. And while I was on vacation, I happened to, still go onto my Facebook news feed and also check in on what's going on around my hometown, the Twin Cities here. And I saw a lot of, well, it's not a lot, about three stories involving Hmong people. The first one that I saw it didn't happen in the Twin Cities. I think it happened in Fresno, California, where it was a suicide-homicide situation. Sounds like the guy killed his wife and then killed himself. And then in the Twin Cities, there was a car accident where a Hmong lady died. And there was another situation where this guy got mugged in St. Paul. He had a permit to carry and conceal, and then when he was being mugged, he was able to pull out his gun and shoot at those thugs. And I think he's in trouble now because instead of shooting them or trying to defend himself after he did that, he got in his car and chased them down and tried to shoot them even more. I know that sounded weird, but I don't know what's going to happen to that guy. I don't even know what the law really is about, when you are carrying and you have the permit to carry. What happens when, you are being mugged and then you chase that thug down to shoot them. I don't think at that point it's considered self-defense anymore. I took a carry and conceal course one time, and the instructor did say you have the right to defend your life and your family's life if they're being threatened at the time of that situation. So this is going to be a very interesting case because he defended himself, but then he chased them down to shoot at them. So we'll see. But going back to the situation down in Fresno where the guy killed his wife and then killed himself. Sounds like he and that lady, they've been married for a long time. And he married her when she was 12. And then now things didn't work out and, tragedy struck. Well, I will keep those children, in my thoughts and prayers. It used to happen a lot, these kind of homicide or suicide-homicide situations in our community. It used to happen quite a bit in the Twin Cities. But it has, slowed down, which is good, and I hope it stops. But it's just not the Hmong community. It happens, across the board. So we will see what the public has to say about the Hmong people. I don't know where you guys live, but in the Twin Cities, we have obviously a huge Hmong population here. And whenever there is something tragic that happens in our community, the racist people come out or the trolls come out and they, want to give their opinion on the news websites to leave comments. I find it entertaining to some degree. I mean, just the level of ignorance of some of these people. But then, when we see, let's say, in this case, white people, right? They like to make fun of, and I'm speaking in general here. So, white people like to make fun of minorities when they end up on the news saying, for example, minorities or Hmong people in this example, they need to learn the customs of this country, the culture, and not do what we do as far as like violence and how we live our life. It's easy to say that, of course, for them. But that's just, again, example of their ignorance. Because when it happens in their community, when white people kill each other, the same way Hmong people would kill each other, it's okay apparently, or culture doesn't come into play anymore. Oh well, there's gonna always be stupid people like that. And I have strong opinions about domestic violence in our community, and I will keep that to myself for now, because my opinions will probably piss off a lot of Hmong men, because I think we have a lot of responsibilities to try to change the cycle of violence that happens in our community and our families as well. Alright, so today I want to talk about the difference between being born gifted and being a late bloomer. Now, we are all born gifted. Okay, we all were born having the ability to see things, sense things, hear things spiritually. But for most of us, as we get older, we get blocked from that. And how does this happen? It happens when we have elders around us or adults telling us it's just our imagination. It's not real. So then we start to believe that. And the more we believe it, the more we shut our spiritual abilities down or put them away. Some of us who are born gifted, again, we're all born gifted, but the ones that cannot shut it down, I don't know what really happens to them, but they manage to not be able to be affected by those elders or adults who tell them that it's just in their imagination. So they grow up, having these spiritual experiences all the time. Now, it doesn't mean that if you are born gifted or you're a late bloomer, that one is stronger than the other or more powerful or is more gifted than the others. Okay? Being, a late bloomer, it just means that you're going to have to do more work to, I guess, gain back your abilities. Okay, they're there, you just put them away, you lock them up, and now it's just a matter of unlocking those abilities. Okay. So I often get asked this question from seekers. They say, should I go to somebody that has always been gifted, like when they were born and they're still gifted today, or should I go to somebody who is a late bloomer? Will I get a better accurate reading from the ones that's always been gifted? Well, for our community here, let's think about shamans, right? There are those who claim to be chosen, and then there are those who go and learn to be a shaman. Either way, again, the ultimate goal is to heal people. Okay, just because somebody was born gifted and they've always had this ability, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are more powerful or more capable of healing people. Same thing for a late bloomer. If someone's a late bloomer, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're not good enough or that they don't know enough. To me, it's just about how well connected you are to your guides and to your source. You could be a late bloomer, and if you meditate every day, do your research on how to unlock your abilities, the more effort and the more work you put into unlocking those, the more accurate and the more efficient you will be when you are helping people, compared to somebody who was never able to lock it in the first place and don't really care about spiritual abilities or spiritual journey. Okay? So don't be too closed-minded when you think about the two different, um, I guess, spiritual beings. One is born and has always had this gift versus someone who's a late bloomer. We all, again, have the same common goal, which is to heal people. Now, I do have a problem with some folks who, and this is just not for spiritual folks or the spiritual development or journey of people, but I think this applies across life in general. And that is the issue of wasted talent. I know some people, for example, who are amazing singers. They have a beautiful voice. They are very musically inclined, but they choose not to do anything with it. They will do it as a hobby. And another example is, when I was in high school or even in college, I would have friends who were very, very smart, smarter than me academically. And all they would do is just pass the test or pass their grades, courses, and then now they don't have a good job. They don't have a good career. I see them and they're working at a low-paying job, and I always wonder, man, you could have done something very, very well for yourself with your intelligence, but they chose not to. Same thing for sports. We see a lot of people who are very athletic, but they don't really take it to the next level. It bothers me, I guess you could say, and I'll be honest, maybe because I envy those talents because I don't have it. But at the end of the day, we all have our course, right? We all have our journey. If they choose not to do anything with it, it might sting us who are not that talented, but it is their path, and we have to learn to be okay with it. And now, connecting that back to spiritual development, there are people, I know a whole bunch of people who have the gift. They can sense, see, hear spirits all the time, but they choose not to take it to the next step and help people. Now, there could be many variables to why they choose to be silent about it, and I respect that too, but I wish that they would be more open-minded about reaching out to help people instead of being silent. And I know a lot of you listening to this right now, you guys and gals probably fall in that category where you know you're gifted, you have the abilities, but for some reason you're not willing to take it to the next level. And from a spiritually gifted person to you, another spiritually gifted person, I would encourage you to really open up and not be silent anymore, and just reach out to help people who seek your help, and not be so silent and lock yourself up in your own little world, because this world needs your help. As cheesy as that sounds, I truly believe that there's a lot of lost souls, lost people out there who can use some healing from folks like you. So I just wanted to talk about that a little bit today. The difference between those who are quote unquote born gifted and those who are late bloomers. To me, I'm a late bloomer. I didn't start this until I was in my early 20s, and I'm fine with it. And my accuracy, that's really not for me to judge. It's for those who have come in contact with me. It's for them to judge. But I do what I feel like I need to do for those people who seek me out, and I'm okay with the results. So I hope this helps you guys out, whether you guys are seasoned or not, whether you're late bloomers or not. Please just don't sit in silence and lock yourself in your own little world. This world needs a lot of healing. All right, folks, that's it. I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.